Are you looking for an internet talk radio station for your podcast? Look no further. At the helm of Passionate World Talk Radio are two women that want to provide a spot for you and your podcast to be heard. There are many other places for your podcast, but PWTR has the audience. You will not be disappointed. Our station has been on the internet for the past 16 years. Call us for more information. 484-364-1032 or text Jeannie White, station manager at PHECONNECTSHOW@gmail.com for podcast show details.
This episode of the Energy Stoners Cafe is sponsored by Passionate World Talk Radio and Lillian Caldwell. PassionateWorldTalkRadio.com.
Welcome to Passionate World Talk Radio. Educate, enlighten, entertain.
Welcome to the Energy Stoners Cafe. My name is Toni Quest, and I'm really happy that you're here. I like to interview the most interesting people I can find on the planet. So grab a cup of coffee, sit down, relax, and listen. You're going to find that these guests are so intriguing, you'll wonder why you didn't know about them before. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Energy Stoners Cafe. As usual, I always have the best guests and the most interesting people I can find on the planet. Tonight, I'm really excited because I have a gentleman that's going to talk to us about a store that he just opened, but he's very interesting in many ways. He recently opened a store in Peekskill, New York, where he provides a few different things, not just retail. It goes way beyond that. And also, he has a background which I consider noble as well, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that as well. His name is John. I don't know your last name, but I know the name of your store, Persephone's Pearl. So what is your last name?
My last name is John Cardo, but most people call me John Omilana. Omilana is one of my religious names. It means the water that opens the roads.
Oh.
So most people know me as John Omilana.
Sounds beautiful. It does, very much so. Now, you're very gifted in many ways, but first I want to ask you about the shop, Persephone's Pearl. Why did you choose that name? It sounds beautiful. Again, everything about you is beautiful.
Persephone is one of the goddesses that I work with in one of the many different practices that I do. And a lot of people don't know her story, and all they know that she was the one that Hades dragged to the underworld, yada, yada. But Persephone is the queen of the underworld, but she's also the queen of summer and spring. She's a goddess of transitions. And so when I envisioned the store, I didn't just envision a retail spot. I envisioned more a place of transition where people could come to, find their connection to whatever spiritual path they may be looking for. And so the funny story about this is that when I was looking for a place to put the store, I went through a couple of places, and then I came to this place, and we actually came in through the back of the store. And when I reached the front of the store, I realized that the store is right in the center of a T crossing, which is in the ancient world is where people left offerings to Persephone. So that's when I knew that this was the spot that was meant for us to have the store.
That's a great story. Wow. So how would somebody even know that it was a T crossing? I mean, how did you determine that it was a T crossing?
Well, it's just, most crossroads, right? It goes two ways, mm-hmm. one way, and two ways the other way. The mm-hmm. T crossing it only goes three ways. And so one of the reasons why Persephone was venerated at the T crossings is because she's a triple goddess. She's envisioned as the maiden, the young woman. She's also envisioned as the mother, who is the more mature childbearing age. And then she's also envisioned as the crone, which is the old wise woman. And so that's why she is venerated at the three, where it's a three crossing, three directions.
I like the fact that there's some meaning behind everything that you're doing, it seems. So in the store, do you provide other what do you provide besides, I know that you sell beautiful crystals in there, crystal specimens.
Yeah, we do crystals, we do incense. Our business plan is that we focus on authenticity and intention. So we try to carry as many products that are made by hand and or in this community. So a lot of our products are made from here. We have different artists like Nadine Gordon, the Quinn and Company. She's locally from Peekskill. So we carry a lot of different spiritual products and spiritual like products that are made in the community. I make my own products also, and all of the incense in the store is made in the store, right? Just to create that feeling of authenticity. I've been a reader for a really long time, for 22 years, even though I'm also a high school teacher. I took a sabbatical to do what I'm doing right now. But on the side, I always did card readings. And so I got tired of sending people to the spiritual store to buy things that were made in a factory. And so I started mixing my own oils and creating my own incense. And so that kind of one thing led to another. And that's why I'm here now. To me, it's not really a retail store. It's a center. And if you see on our sign, it says a center for spiritual development. So, we do card readings. I do the card readings. We also have somebody else that does card readings. We also do Reiki. But we also have we have different workshops. I have a cohort that just finished a workshop on connecting to your spiritual path, where you we look at different things and ask questions and give people assignments. And because I'm a teacher, I give assignments, right?
Yes.
To help them really think of where they want to go with their spirituality. I myself practice a few different traditions. I don't like to mix traditions because I think that could be disrespectful. But I practice a few different traditions. I'm open to helping people find what tradition is it that connects you to the divine or to your ultimate destiny. Right. So we do workshops on that. I've done workshops on candle making manifestation oil lamps, how to use a pendulum. I did just recently for Samhain or Halloween. We made our own brooms.
Nice.
We had a seance. We just different activity. We have somebody that's going to teach about crystals. It's just it's a place where you can come to learn about different things, to see what is it that you connect to. And so, I bring in other people that are from the community because I want this to be a community-centered space. I want it to be that space where people come to gather and to, just to be able to have conversations that you can't have with people who are not in that same space that you're in. We may not be going in the same we're going to the same direction, but we might not be all going in the same vehicle.
Right. Yes.
So, but being able to have conversations with people about that, we also do spiritual cleansings. I've done a few of those, and we offer house cleansings for people that don't, that kind of are having issues in the house with the energy in the house. So just trying to offer as much to help people, get on the track that they want to get on.
Tell me more about the spiritual cleansings, because I've heard various people use this term, and I've read a little bit about it, and I'm just wondering, what is it from your point of view?
Yeah. So, as we live, sometimes when we're open conduits of energy, right, we pick things up. We pick up, earthbound spirits, you could call them. that, they may see the light in us that they want to feed off of. Or sometimes in a conversation, somebody could have a negative energy, and by having the conversation with you, they dump that negative energy on you, and then they walk away feeling good, and you're wondering why you're feeling depressed.
Yeah.
So, spiritual cleansing can be a lot of different things. It can be making yourself a bath with things like mint and spearmint and basil, to, just a simple bath of holy water and honey. It could be as simple as like taking some flowers and passing them all over your body and then leaving them somewhere. There's a lot of different ways to get rid of negativity. I'm not the type, because I'm a teacher, I'm not the type to say that everything is a spiritual problem. Sometimes people they use that as a way of not taking responsibility for the things that they've done. But there are some people who do have, real issues where negative entities and things have attached themselves to them. And so that's what we, some of the things that we do here to help people like get rid of those things, and not just get rid of it, but teach people how to maintain spiritual hygiene, so that on a regular you get home and you're in a bad mood and you don't know why you're in that bad mood. And it's because, the environment at work was toxic and you brought stuff home with you, but you can, do something to try to put yourself in a better space.
Yeah, yeah. Spiritual cleansing. I think that it's something important. It's interesting. We don't really go to spiritualists to help us keep ourselves spiritually. I want to use the word pure. Most people don't think of that. They might go to church, which is good for many people, which is a traditional thing to do. I want to ask you, if people come into your, I'll say, energy field, they walk into the store. I walked into the store the first time I walked in. The first thing I felt was that I was in a healing space. I have to say this. I felt like all of a sudden there were little things in my body that didn't hurt as much, just being in that energy, that positive energy. Not that I'm a negative person. I don't feel I carry negative energy. But do you see something in people when they pass by you? Can you see things in them or on them that other people don't see?
Well, I mean, culturally, we don't, I'm Puerto Rican. We don't use the word psychic. We use the word spiritualist, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And somebody who's a spiritualist is somebody who sees spirits, who sees energies.
Mm-hmm.
Who works with them and things like that. So, when people come through the door, of course, I see everything that they bring with them, even if I'm not reading them or I'm not particularly paying attention. But because it's something it's just part of who I am. I can't turn it on and off. I do see things, and so that's why, I try to create that space, that kind of space in the store where things that are negative and that are with people kind of get stuck at the door like a spider web, so that you can come in here and have a respite and be able to think clearly about where is it you want to go and what is it you want to do with your life.
Yeah, that's something I think about every day, even though I've been on the planet for a while. So it sounds like you help people.
My journey as I see it as a ministry. I started my first career was as a pastor. I was a Seventh-day Adventist youth pastor.
Yeah.
And then I did social work for a time. And then I, went into teaching, which, is kind of stuff. I was always very centered around helping students, and doing student activities and stuff like that. I was always, my teaching practice was always good, but my interaction with students was always something that was unique. And so I just see what I do now as an extension of a ministry that I started when I graduated from college.
So you're living a life purpose. Now, I understand that you're working with youth that have been incarcerated. How are you working with them? I know that you teach history. I know that you're a history teacher, which I always found that teaching kids is one of the more noble things an individual can do as a vocation or a mission or even in ministry. I think teaching children is very, very noble. So tell me a little bit about your teaching path with regard to helping children, teaching children.
I mean, kids just want to be treated like people, right? And, especially I teach in Department of Education program. It is a school that's designed for students that are incarcerated. We have non-secure facilities where they come to us. And then we have secure facilities, which is that's more of like the traditional, what you think of when you think of jail. My last co-teacher, she put it right. It's like we have the forgotten kids.
Yeah.
Our students are the forgotten students. And they've gotten so to the place where people don't even treat them like human beings anymore because of the place that they've come from, the things that they've done, or the environment they've grown up with. So, I never had a issue with students because I just treat them as human beings. And I know that they have good days, they have bad days, and I'm just there to help them along the process. I'm help them there to get through that part of their life so that then maybe they can make better choices for themselves.
I can imagine, because you are I consider spiritual people like yourself as being sensitive, in many ways. And I imagine that you can be extraordinarily helpful to them in kind of seeing beyond the surface of what's really going on with them. It's not just about the wrong that they committed, or the law that they broke. I imagine you can see beyond that and see who this individual really is. Am I correct in making that assumption?
Yeah. It definitely helps to have what I call I call it having insider information. Because when I look at a student, I don't see the one that's sitting in front of me not wanting to do their work. It's like I see all the other parts of the student's life that's going on that they may not talk about, and I also may see the things that have kind of latched onto them to keep them in that space, and so it gives me an opportunity to really change the direction for that kid.
Wow, that's a tremendous gift, and it sounds to me, as a layperson, I would say, in terms of spirituality, it sounds to me like you actually have the propensity, the ability to change their life path and turn it positive.
I've seen your art and I've seen other things that you can do, so I don't know if I would call you a layperson.
Oh, okay. I know. I need some fine tuning. Thank you for that.
But it's really helpful. It's very fulfilling. It has its difficult moments, because some things are hard to see sometimes because there are things that I see that I can't do anything about.
Right.
And those moments can be difficult. But, I just focus on the good moments and the good things that Spirit has led me to do. And that's what that keeps me in a good space.
Yeah. And I noticed that you have very, very good people around you. Every time I see people around you, I feel that you have good people around you. If I saw anybody that I felt was not good, I would let you know. And that in itself is a blessing. So somehow you're managing to keep the negativity out of there,
Yeah, I really have been blessed. I have a good, strong foundation in my family who's always been behind everything that I do. So that starts from there. And then, just letting Spirit guide and letting Spirit bring the people that need to be part of, what this is. And also actually recognizing when Spirit is telling me to let go of people that they already served their purpose, and it's time for them to move on to something different.
It's a really great gift to have. I just feel really glad that you're on the planet. I'm going to say that.
Oh, that's nice for you to say.
No, it does make a difference. People don't realize, I find, how we all contribute to the whole. We all can contribute to the collective. And when you see like someone that I see like a bright star, I see you as like a bright star of positivity. That's what I feel. That's what I see. It's very, very comforting. Now, I want to ask you, what was it like for you to have this gift? Like, when did you discover that you had this spiritual gift?
That's a good question. My parents always said that I had an imaginary friend till way later than most kids do. So I guess that was the beginning of it. But I also grew up very, very Christian. So that wasn't something that was, that wasn't something that was acceptable. I went to Christian university and I did all of that. It wasn't until later on, probably in my 20s, that I met this older woman. Her name was Isa. She's Puerto Rican. She lived on 111th Street. It was a very long time ago, so I doubt that she's still around. Like, she was the first person that helped me understand that, I had different gifts that I could develop, and then it was just from after that, they've always put people in my path to help me get to the next turn in my development. I don't know if I can really pinpoint the moment where I realized that I had any kind of gifts, because to me, I'm just one guy trying to help people. I don't know if I could tell you like the moment that I knew. It was just a process, and it was just something that happened. When you allow the universe to guide you and lead you, and you're not afraid to be open to anything, right? Then, you get to go to the places that you're supposed to go to.
Yeah. Do you find that people that are somewhat like you gravitate towards you? I can imagine you attract a lot of attention because of the energy that you exude.
Yeah, I mean, I always chalk it up to, I'm a 6'2", 300-pound Puerto Rican, so I'm always going to attract attention. But, but I don't know how to answer that question.
That's okay. No, I understand why you can't answer it, because it's something that doesn't have to be answered. People who say there is no time. Time does not exist, so it doesn't really matter. But I think it'd be remiss if I didn't ask that question, because sometimes with some people that I know personally, it's usually a specific moment that they can, in reflection, okay, they can say that's when they discovered their intuitive gifts, in reflecting, but maybe not at that moment, but when you think back.
I don't think I've ever not had them, because those are things you're born with.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I look back, I recognize that I did always have them. I just, like I tell some people that when I read them, it's like, to me, that was just normal until I realized that it wasn't.
Well, I was sent to your store because by a mutual merchant in the neighborhood. And she said, "Oh, you must go and meet John. You must just meet him." She'd say, "Just go over there and meet him. Get over there, And so I finally found the time to go over there and relax and walk in. And I'm really so glad that I had the pleasure of meeting you, because you do have a good energy and you do exude goodness. Now, I've gone in there a few times, maybe 3 times I've gone in there, and then you were actually sitting with people and doing a reading. Right out there in the middle of the floor. How is that? What is that like to be right out there doing it?
It is a different feeling. And thank you for saying all of that, but it is a different feeling, because I'm used to doing it in my office at home, So to be in the window doing it, it is a little different. But this is my dream for a while now, and I wasn't going to do this until I retired, when I was 55 or whatever. The universe decided that this was the time. So, I try to enjoy it as much as possible. that's that's the feeling that I get. I try to, it's kind of awesome to be able to do it and see people's reaction, or to not really reaction, but to see them come back and tell me that they feel better and that things changed for them, and that, whatever it is that we've been working on with them has been working. Like that, that's an amazing feeling. I don't have that with every one of my clients, because life is the way it is. But it really does help to know that I'm able to provide that kind of help to people. Some people walk in the store, and then it's because they know that they can come here to find help because they've been told already. And so that hope is, to me, is really important, because as long as you have hope for change, then you can make a difference in your own life.
I think, again, it's obvious what you said in the beginning. There's intention. Your intention is to help people. I'm really glad that you're here, in Peekskill, New York. So tell people how they can reach you if they want to reach out to you for help.
Our store is 1014B Main Street in Peekskill, right on the corner of Main and Bank. We're open every day from 11 to 7, except Tuesdays. Our phone number is 914-737-3460, and you can always call and make an appointment. You can also follow us on Instagram at Persephone's Pearl Peekskill.
Could you spell that for people?
Yeah, sure. It's PersePhonePeekskill. That's Instagram. And then we're also on Facebook, Persephone's Pearl. And we're soon going to be on TikTok, I think. I didn't even know what TikTok was till,
It's inevitable.
Yeah. We're just, just trying to get information out to as many people as possible. Because we had some really nice events this weekend, and we just want to continue to kind of like spreading that.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can always call the number and make an appointment for a reading, or you can like watch our social media for a list of like the different events and stuff that are going on.
There will always be you or Elaudio will be there in the store to help customers that come in, make appointments with you. Is that basically how you work on the brick and mortar level?
Yeah, pretty much. It's myself and my dad. We have a couple of other people that help out, but really it's just him and I here. And he's usually the one that handles the appointments and all that, because I'm usually busy either reading people or trying to find different products to put in the store, because I want to make sure that we have like a variety of products for people to come and find, whatever it is that they're looking for.
Now I have to ask another question. I've always wondered this. There are people, spiritualists out there that help so many people. And I often wonder, like, what do you do to sort of keep your own energy correct when you have a lot of energies coming to you? How do you shake it off afterwards?
Right now, I do it by going home to my sister's house here in Peekskill and spending time with my 5-month-old nephew.
Mm-hmm.
He just really helps me come to a good place in the end of my day, but I always take my time to spend with my family, because they're really like the ones that renew me.
Yeah.
I've also made some, I have a strong community of friends that support me. They're not all local. Most of them are not. But, I have that. And, I have some of my new friends that I've made in Peekskill. So I always try to make time for me, because how can I be an example of people, taking care of themselves if I don't take care of myself?
Yeah.
And if I don't take care of myself, then I won't be able to do things that I'm meant to do.
I think that what you're doing is so important. I think that the reason I'm always very fascinated to talk with people of your type of mind is because I often feel a little afraid for us all as a collective spiritually. And when I meet, that's what I meant like when I said, I'm glad that you're on the planet. It's people that are intent on helping and they do it from the depths of their soul that are so important. And I will say that I think it's important not to take it for granted that you could actually have contact with someone like you. So I'll tell my listeners that I would recommend that they go to Persephone's Pearl and meet you and just check out the store, because I walked in the store and your Reiki person, the person who does Reiki there, Laura, she was standing there and I walked in. I said, "Oh my God, this is a healing space." And she said she was so happy to hear me say that, but it was so genuinely the first thing I felt when I walked in there.
I'm glad you felt that way, and I really appreciate the opportunity to share what we're doing here at Persephone's Pearl.
Well, thank you so much, for being on the show, John. I think that you'll be very successful, as you well should be, because it's not just all about you. You are helping people. Now, just tell us a little bit briefly, because we're about to close down here, about the kind of courses someone could take at the store, the kind of learning that could be had.
So the main one that I've already done two cohorts is how to find your spiritual path, in which we kind of go through different modalities of connecting to spirit, and people are given the opportunity to explore the one that they feel they connect to the most. We do that. I do a series of how to make your own baths with things from the supermarket.
Oh, wow.
Cleansing baths, love baths, money baths, those kind of things. I'm also getting ready to do two different series. One is welcoming in the goddess, just talking about different goddess energy in different systems. But I'm also beginning to do a series on like an introduction to Afro-Caribbean traditions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there's there's a couple of things, there are a couple of options.
Well, this is so wonderful, and I'm just so happy that I know you, and I'm so happy that I was actually able to experience Persephone's Pearl. And I'll tell the audience, it's a beautiful, beautiful space. And John, you're a beautiful person.
Thank you, Toni. How are you?
Thank you. But I just see the way people respond to you, and everybody just is attracted to your energy because it's so genuine, authentic, which authenticity is what you're looking for, because
that's important.
That's would very much be a reflection of yourself. And I appreciate you for what you are and what you do.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I invite you to come back and talk to us again,
Definitely.
as things get going over there. And maybe you could talk about some of the specific classes that you'll be offering at Persephone's Pearl. And we could talk about that. I think that my audience would be very interested in hearing all about it.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so much welcome. And thank you for coming on the show. I'm going to say goodnight to you, and I'll say goodnight to the audience. And until next time, as I always promise, I bring the most interesting people I can find on the planet so I can present them to you. So I'll say goodnight for now. Goodbye for now. Be well, be nice, and bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Energy Stoners Cafe.
Are you looking for an internet talk radio station for your podcast? Look no further. At the helm of Passionate World Talk Radio are two women that want to provide a spot for you and your podcast to be heard. There are many other places for your podcast, but PWTR has the audience. You will not be disappointed. Our station has been on the internet for the past 16 years. Call us for more information. 484-364-1032 or text Jeannie White, station manager, at THECONNECTSHOW@gmail.com for podcast show details. Thank you for listening to Passionate World Talk Radio. You can listen to this program all over again by going over to https://passionateworldtalkradio.com. You can also hear it on Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Alexa, AMFM247.com, every Tuesday evening between 8 and 9 p.m. YouTube, Facebook, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, and all the other podcast directories one can find on the internet.